hidden pornographic scene viewable by pressing up, up, down, down, left. Huh. Horny gamers believe anything. Seabreeze? Hey! Well, you smell... inseminated. I can't believe you're pregnant again. God, didn't you learn anything the last time? Would you like some water? A treat? Towel to bleed on? I knew it! Arrest this dog! He violated my restraining order and impregnated Seabreeze! What? No, I didn't! He's lying! And he's not Caucasian. Oh! I'm not the father, Joe.
Unless you can prove that, Brian, we gotta lock you up. Damn it, a speed bump. Who's the wise guy that put this speed bump here? It's not funny! Horowitz, I'm looking at you! Yeah? Oh, yeah, laugh it up, guys! This is in poor taste!
Hey everyone, welcome back with Beano Mac, where today we're going to continue our playthrough of Family Guy the Video Game for PS2. I think it's actually just called the Family Guy Video Game, but as you can see, we're now going to play as Brian, and he is a stealth-based character, so we just got to avoid being spotted by pretty much everybody, whether it be prisoners, cops, and we'll see some more people we have to avoid detection with later on. But we're out to clear our name after, as you can see, we just got framed by freaking car for no reason, really. I don't really know what the point is, but well, hopefully we'll find out.
That's the second most disturbing thing I've ever seen.
Alright, got another cutaway gag here. Quagmire and the Blair Fist Project. Good lord, what the what the hell? Obviously, this is a reference to when Peter impersonated Mel Gibson in season 4, and then he stole the Passion of the Christ 2 movie with, I think it was Chris Tucker in it.
God, I wish I knew what.
Hey, that version of the movie would have been awesome. I'm just saying.
Stop running, you.
I was too young as a kid to understand what the joke was and stuff, but it's still pretty funny to this day. That said, though, my question of the day here is, what are your thoughts on the King of the Hill revival? For those of you who have seen it, I'm dying to talk about it, but obviously I don't want to spoil anything about it too much. But that said, I have watched it. I watched it, I think, day 1, but it's been a few weeks since it's been out. And it's not really a reboot or anything like that. However, it's technically a part of the original series, even though there's a jump, you know, a time skip and stuff like that. And yeah, I mean, it's definitely interesting. It's definitely more, it's weird because it's already an adult cartoon, but it's definitely more adult. It's more edgy, I should say. So I'm not going to spoil too much, but, you know, there's definitely a few F-bombs in there. You know, they say shit quite a few times, which is not something they would have ever used in the original King of the Hill, you know, show and stuff like that. There's even some poop jokes in there. Really crazy characters. Just lots of there's even, you know, some suicide jokes here and there. I think there was like 1 or 2 of those in the original show, though I can't remember. But yeah, definitely, you know, for Bill and stuff like that. But it's just kind of really crazy to see the updates and the characters, and just, you know, getting more edgy and risky and stuff like that. It doesn't mean it's necessarily bad. It's just very
This is part of the police file on Seabreeze.
it's just very unexpected, I should say. So if you haven't seen it, that is something you should expect. And, you know, there's even more sexual stuff going on in there. You know, obviously there was, once again, I think in the original show there was hints at, you know, obviously, like, you know, if you know anything about the original show, Buck Strickland was just banging a bunch of, you know, really young chicks and cheating on his wife all the time. But there's definitely more scenes that kind of, it's not really hinting as much anymore. They get as close as they can, and without, you know, showing the kind of stuff in certain episodes. So take that for what you will. And I was pretty worried about the animation when I first seen the previews, but obviously that it's still not as good as the original, obviously. But that said, it's not anywhere near as bad as I thought it was going to be. So I mean, that's pretty cool. It's just kind of still in the intro. Like, there was one scene that I was hung up on, and it's still there in the intro, where it's kind of like very floaty and stuff like that. But I mean, that's really the only complaint about the animation I have, personally. Anyway, I know a lot of people aren't a fan of Peggy's design because they say she's got those thousand-yard stare and stuff like that, and those dead eyes. But I don't think it's too big of an issue personally. It's not really something you notice as you're watching the show. But I haven't gone onto the Reddit. You know, I'm kind of done with Reddit at this point. You know, social media just kind of sucks. You know what I mean? So I'm fine with my small corner of YouTube here, where there's, you know, people aren't ready to just be dickheads all the time. You know. But I don't know if you guys have watched it down below. You know, it's on Hulu. I think it's a pretty good time. I'd say it's, you know, half and half. You know, I wouldn't say it's as good as the original show's peak, but it's definitely, you know, pretty decent. It's definitely pretty fresh. I do love the fact, you know, there's some ongoing storylines. We're focusing on Bobby and his adulthood here. So there's a lot of good stuff to it, you know. And I'm hoping for the future that we're going to see, you know, some more characters return and see them as adults and stuff like that as well, or any of that kind of stuff. So if you have watched the new King of the Hill revival in the comments below, you know, let's have a conversation about it. I'd love to hear your thoughts. But we are just about done with today's episode, so thank you so much for watching, and if you enjoyed, make sure to like and subscribe. Check out next week's episode on License Thursday, but above all else, please remember to have a nice day.